Hello children, we're continuing with phrases and clauses. I'm going to share the answers of the main on page 110. So your homework was grammar tree, page 110, exercise D. Read the sentences given below. Decide whether the underlined groups of words are phrases or clauses. So observe the first two sentences. Manish lives in an old house with his parents and his aunt. With his parents and his aunt is a group of words, right? There is no verb nor there is a subject there, it's a phrase. The second one, identifying his master, is also, of course, the verb is in ing form, but it's not a verb. It's not doing the job of a verb. So the second one is also a phrase. And all the other sentences, third to the 10th one, are all clauses. I want you to notice another thing here. You have the text with you, right? So see the sentences which are underlined and those that are clauses. Third one, when we ourselves had refused to help him some time back. The first word is when. So all your clauses, the subordinate clauses, start with an subordinating conjunction. Can you just notice that in your book? When, where, fifth one that, sixth one so, underline so also, seventh one since, eighth that, ninth what, 10th that. So the clauses, subordinating clauses will begin with a subordinating conjunction. Just to recap, phrase is a group of words that does not have a subject or a verb. Clause is a set of words that includes a subject and a verb. Clause is a part of a sentence and a clause begins with a subordinating conjunction. Now we will study the types of clauses. All right. A clause can be independent or dependent. All right. So the name given to independent clause is main clause or principal clause, and for dependent, it's called a subordinating clause. Now, what is the meaning of independent? That which can stand alone, right? So an independent clause is a clause that can stand alone in a sentence. So it's a group of words which can stand alone, and it is a independent or a main clause. A dependent clause is a group of words that is not a sentence but adds information to the main part of the sentence. So a group of words which is underlined here, because the door was open, is a dependent clause. It starts with because, which is a subordinating conjunction. When that's added to a group of words, the thief could enter, then it makes complete sense. So it is dependent on the first part of the sentence. So independent clause is called the main clause and dependent clause is called the subordinating clause. Some examples of independent and dependent clauses. Children, you have done this in your previous class. In class 6, you have dealt with independent and dependent clauses. Now see the first example. I cooked dinner after I got home from the beach. So after I got home from the beach is a dependent clause which is dependent on the first part of the sentence. If it rains is a dependent clause in the second one. I like this beach. It has meaning. Because it is very crowded? No. It is a dependent clause dependent on the first part of the sentence. After the reading classes started, Stella arrived. The first part is a dependent clause depending on Stella arrived. She returned home when she finished paying the bill. So when she finished paying the bill is a dependent clause. We're going to study the types of dependent clauses. So the other word for dependent clause is subordinating clause. So we are going to study the subordinate clauses. So there are different kinds of subordinate clauses. A noun clause. So clause is a group of words. Observe the example here. Pizza is fine with me. Pizza is a noun, right? It's just one single word. If I want to use a group of words for that, I can write whatever you give is fine with me. So whatever you give is a dependent clause and it's acting as a noun in this sentence. It functions as a noun. So it is a noun clause. An adjective clause is a group of words which does the work of an adjective. Angry lion snarled at me. I have to expand that part of the sentence. The lion that was angry is a group of words and it is a subordinate adjective clause. Adverb clause. You know what an adverb is. An adverb adds more meaning to the verb, and you have also learned the types of adverbs. A dependent clause can be an adverb clause when it does the work of an adverb in this, and that group of words is a clause, and that group of words is doing the work of an adverb in your sentence. I will eat my dinner now. Now is an adverb of time, isn't it? So how can you write now in a group of words? I will eat my dinner after I eat the ice cream. That is an adverb clause. We have various kinds of adverbs and we also have various kinds of adverb clauses. And some of them are adverb clause of time answers the question when. We reached the station after we visited my granny. So notice a couple of things here. Firstly, you underline the clause. Clause starts with a subordinating conjunction. After we visited my granny. Now you need to ask when. When did you reach? After you visited my granny. Adverb clause of place. I remember where you live. So where you live is a place. Clause of reason. Reason can be since or because. Why do I have to sit in the fourth row? Since you haven't worn a tie, you have to sit in the fourth row. Adverb clause of manner. She looked like she was in pain. How? Manner answers the question how. Adverb clause of comparison. You're comparing two things. He's taller than his brother. Even as. The word as is used for comparison. Adverb clause of result or consequence. Something happens and there is a result after that. They fought so bravely that the enemy fled. So that is used as an adverb of result or consequence. So you have the various kinds of subordinate clauses, a noun clause, an adjective clause, and adverb clause. Under adverb clause, you have clause of time, place, reason, manner, comparison, and result. Okay. Children, you have a couple of things to do this week. The first thing is the notes for the first lesson, sentences based on kinds, to be written in your English language classwork. This is sent as a PDF file on your WhatsApp. You have to copy the notes in your classwork. That's your first lesson. Don't do anything beyond that in the classwork. The second one, do the exercises in your text. Now, related to the chapter phrases and clauses, on page 109, do exercise B. In page 112 and 13, do exercise E, F, G, and H. Write all the answers in the textbook. I shall discuss the answers in the next class. Thank you. Have a good day. I'll come and see. I'll make something for you.